And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The first ever Battalion 1944 tournament is now upon us. Hiccups have been resolved, and now we are going to be getting live in round 2 of the Blitzkrieg battle here from the plays. I am Dust. With me is Mr. Vince, a CSGO commentary duo, but of course Vince has his roots in the Call of Duty 4 community, which are some of the main people making up this new Battalion 1944 side of things, and of course some new blood mixed in as well, I'm sure. Vince, first of all, how's it going, man? How does it feel to be here?
It's kind of surreal, honestly, dude, because I casted these players a good 5-6 years ago. We just watched Miracle and Climax, unfortunately not on the stream, but to see these players' names again light up the scoreboard was a really cool feeling. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm hoping this is the start of something special for Battalion.
Yeah, certainly hope so, right? This is going to be round 2 on Derailed. We are going to be doing some best of ones up until we get to the grand finals, which will be a best of 3. We had the first round was Coastal. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cover that, but again, all issues are resolved now, so we should be good to go for the rest of the day. Playing Derailed in this round. Next round, I think, is Liberation, and then the final round is going to be Manor House v2. That'll get us through the 4 first rounds of the tournament, which again are all best of ones, and then the best of 3 will be a situation where I think the first map is Derailed, and then loser gets to pick second map, and then, for third map, then it'll be another loser pick situation. So that's how the format will go. Definitely cool. We'll be trying to explain to some of you some of the different things throughout the game. I guess we can kind of start a little bit with the concept of the War Tide system, which is basically the game mode that we're actually playing for competitive. It's basically going to be very familiar to any of you who have ever played any type of bomb defusal game like Counter-Strike Global Offensive or S&D. It's a max round 12, so it's a race to 13 to win. So you play possibly 12 rounds per half. Obviously, you get 12 rounds guaranteed in the first half, and then, someone hits 13 in the second half, then obviously it's all over. But if it goes 12-12, then, overtime and such would be involved at that point. And there is a sort of economy system in this game. It's not like CSGO with money. You get cards to start out with, and your cards are basically your classes, your SMG class, Pathfinder, Heavy, your auto class, and then you have sniper and bolt action rifle classes, and you have the operator, the shotgun class, and each of them have their own perks. Some come with grenades, some do not. You have a pool of grenades and smokes to buy from as well, but we'll get more into that as the game progresses. Right now we are going live with round 1. It is the Pingwins versus the Bang, and we are going to get live here on Derailed, and we are going to see some action starting out in the middle. There's a lot of pre-nades that can come here, but there's also a lot of snipe battles that can come here as well. Looks like they might be like knifing for sides or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was confused. I was like, no way, they're just 5-man rushing mid.
No, but I mean, you're spot on. This is going to be a hotly contested area of the map. It's going to be middle, and as you can see, it only takes a couple of seconds for both teams to get in proximity with the sniper rifle, so it's definitely something to watch out for. Typically in the past, in COD 2, COD 4, you'd normally have a limit on weapons, so you wouldn't be able to have multiple players with snipers. Now, of course, as you mentioned before, with the card system, it is possible for you to start with 2 or 3 snipers. So That is going to be something to watch out for if we have these huge skirmishes just kicking off in mid with multiple players trying to bait each other out, peeking in, of course. So definitely a hotly contested area, as you highlighted, mid.
Yeah, again, in the situation right now is if you run out of cards, you're stuck playing the default class, which is a gun that's a little bit weaker. It does come with the smoke and an HE grenade, though, so a little bit of utility added. But the only way you really get cards is if you get kills and you pick up your opponent's cards, or you collect your fallen teammates' cards. So that is definitely something that plays out throughout the game that you really have to keep a focus on, as we should be getting live here very shortly. Just everyone to start switching teams and get to decide if they want it and all that good stuff after the knife round. And so we should be trying to kick things off here any moment.
I think the server may have died, though. I'm getting that impression.
You hate to see it?
You do.
You really do.
I'm hoping it's just a restart of some description. But, we've been a bit unfortunate today. But I don't know about you, but I can just see Sandro in particular just kind of shaking in spawn. Nothing's really happening.
Yeah, I think they may have had to restart the server just to be able to get everyone on the side. There is no auto script right now to auto switch sides. Again, this game has only been in early access since 2 days ago. It came out on February 1st in early access. So with that in mind, a lot of the third-party tools that you're kind of used to seeing in other games to make sure that things swap and all that good stuff is still yet to be built. But it looks like we're pretty quickly getting into this. We already have all the players in the server, except for Rhino. Pingwins, of course. He joined the wrong team. It's okay. We'll forgive him. He'll get over to the right team soon, and we'll ready this thing up. I'm stoked, man. I'm ready to cast this game. I don't know about you. This is the first time I've actually commentated a game that wasn't part of the Counter-Strike franchise in something like 8 years. Because I did do a little bit of COD 4 Pro Mod in the NA scene back in, I don't know, sometime before 2010. But since then, I've pretty much only commentated Counter-Strike games, so it's really neat to venture out into something else.
Kind of reverse for me, actually, strangely enough. I started predominantly in COD, and then I kind of went away from the scene after COD 4. There wasn't really anything that piqued my interest. You know, you started to get to the Modern Warfares and stuff, and I mean, they just didn't really have a scene on the PC, let's be honest. So it's good to get back, and I mean, the developers heavily inspired, loved the previous CODs, loved COD 2, COD 4, which you can definitely see a lot of inspiration in this game, a lot of movement reminiscent from those games. But I hope we're about
we all hope this is it. Indeed, we're looking at the screen now where you see all the cards being selected. You're seeing that sniper come out on Lynch from Pingwins. And then we do see Pathfinder. Looks like Destiny is actually playing the default class for right now. Maybe wanting to get that utility. Then you do see the Pathfinder coming out on Sandro with that SMG. And so we'll see how this is going to play out right now, as we do see a little bit of action coming out over towards middle. Again, it's very dangerous waters to tread, but it looks like a couple have jumped across over towards Cinema. So the attack is going to be on over to this Cinema bomb site. 3 defenders over there.
Nyx has already got wrecked, and there was actually a smoke in mid, so they couldn't see anything on either of the teams. There is a carbine frag from Destiny, delivered first class onto J Money. It's going to open up the site a little bit for the Allies, who are currently trailing by a player, and they still have a couple of smokes to play with, the Germans. So even if the bomb does go down, they have plenty of utility to play with.
Yeah, 3 players just held up in Cinema right now. Saint, Seuss, and Fancy already sitting inside this bomb site right now. Lynch trying to get a pick out here from the broken house, but he's been caught out just a little bit here. Arox is making sure that no one's going to be flanking around the other side of the map, just sitting inside spawn, but they're definitely trying to attack into the site. Lynch has that scope on the broken wall, looking for someone to peek, but no one's giving him anything to glance at just yet, but now the attack is on.
Yes, and it's going to be the first kill actually going to the Allies in that confrontation. Sandro going to be able to regen back up after being knocked down to 40. Eric's going to be moving in with his scoped up car through the long side on towards B. As you say, the players are all moving around in this proximity, and it's all on Lynch. He is close enough going towards the archers. He's going to get tagged in the back, at least picks up a car on his way there, and the car as well, but it's going to be the jumping shot that ends his life from Aerox. And it looked pretty good for the Allies for a few moments. They managed to get their way towards Cinema, but then just got shut down with authority.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Lynch was just never able to find a pick off with that scope inside the site, and there was 3 players stacked in. Arox had their flank covered from spawn, so they didn't really have to worry about making any rotations. You know, they had an early man advantage as well, which allowed them to kind of stack over towards that Cinema bomb site. And so certainly just a little bit of a rough ride there for Pingwins, but we'll see if they can shape up a little bit better. Some set nade from Arox there onto top mid. No one going that direction for Pingwins, though, so they won't take any damage. In fact, the focus is going to be over here towards the church site right now. Scope out from Arox, though, at alt mid. He finds the opening pick onto the scope Lynch. They'll need to collect that scope card to keep it in their inventory, but he's out of the round this time. Unless someone decides to recycle that sniper, they will not have one going forward.
Yeah, the other issue as well is that Aerox actually did get tagged through the door and still lands the frag, and the sniper card was out in the open. However, now that Aerox is backed off, they managed to pick it up for themselves, and the Penguins are hoping that they can maybe start to make some inroads in, but already being a player down, this is going to put the pressure on them. Destiny is pushing up through the long side. Going to be looking behind the kiosk. No one's there. And down goes Sandro. 2 players already fallen for the Allies. 45 seconds left to try and somehow get a resurgence going, but they've just got nothing, really. They've got a bit of real estate, but it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, Rhino's still wondering if someone's going to flank through Cinema. They're still trying to post up over here towards the safe side of the map right now, but Arox playing in the graveyard, has long covered. Saint watching the wraparound over towards spawn. Rhino, in the meantime, looking to see if he's going to catch anybody running around from the other side. That's just not happening. Nyx does finally get the kill, but Saint quick to respond. And so Penguins down just to 2 versus the 4 left here of the Bang. You see Penguins trying to come around through spawn. It is Saints, though, with the carbine watching it here. Does get tagged up, falls back, catches one running into the site as well. Trying to see if they can't get in and get this bomb planted, but they have that sniper in graveyard. It's going to be A-Rox here with it. He's already taken the bomb planter down, and now the round is won just off the clock. Nick's looking to see if he can't get a kill and maybe get some cards. He does get into a battle. He does pick up that scope card from A-Rox, but in the end, it is 2-0 for Bang. They're defending quite well so far.
And you can see the fight at the end. It's you know, in CSGO, for example, you'd be hoping to take a weapon away from the other team. In this case, it's just the card. Ultimately, keeping the Thompson is going to be important. It gives them an extra SMG to play with, but they also alleviated one of the weapons away from the Axis as well. However, as he said, Dust, 2-0 start, looking pretty solid. Lynch should have gone for yet another AWP. I nearly said AWP there. Different game. Sniper rifle, that's the one. He hasn't had any chance, really, so far to get a pick through mid because, simply put, the Axis just aren't peeking it.
Oh, the aggression from J Money inside Cinema as well with the SMG. Going to catch one. Fancy also coming in on the Rhino. So this attack into Cinema was delayed due to the set nades, which get great positioning to the Bang, and they're reaping the benefits. As you can see, only Sandro's really found a kill here for the Penguin side, taking down Seuss, but they're still down in a 2v4.
Yeah, now make that a 1v4, and he's been caught out from the side. As soon as those opening picks went down, no reason to be holding the church side anymore. Went straight through mid and got the flank into fruition. And now you're starting to see the issues that the lack of cards is going to bring. They have no more SMGs to play with. They're down to just the one sniper rifle. It's looking pretty bad for the Bang.
And that round really just illustrates to you how important set nades can be. It's not always just for the kills. It's also about slowing down timing. So you have Penguins trying to go for this big attack over towards the Cinema site. Set nades slow them down. They can't cross mid, and that gives so much early positioning to the Bang to push Cinema, to get into aggressive spots and really just disrupt any type of execute Penguin we're hoping for. As now they will slow it back down. Really do putting that focus on the Cinema side once more. But again, J Money with that aggression with the Pathfinder class gets the kill, collects an M1 grand, and now he has two primaries to work with. You get to pick up opponent's guns. It doesn't carry over, but it can help you in this round, as he will just stay posted up in Cinema, maintaining that advantage.
Trying to take control over on this side of the map, but Saint, he's going to take down Sandro. And the pressure will continue to mount. They only have one HE left. I'm going to get the one kill. Bomb going to start to get planted now. But it's going to be stopped dead in its tracks. And with it, the bomb goes down on the site. They at least managing to salvage some of the kills. But Fancy, R32 and Saint remain. And only Lynch with his Garand will be up against them. 35 seconds. Going to take him a while to get rid of all these angles and feel confident enough to go for the site. Maybe going to go to upper Cinema and just peek out the door and see if he can maybe land a couple of shots. But again, it was in one of those kind of positions, Dust, where it was looking good for Penguins. They got a kill, they were on the site, and then suddenly the flank came into fruition, and that was the round done.
Yeah, I mean, again, J Money, though, just getting that opening kill, pushing Cinema. That's really been helpful to get the early advantage. And then, yeah, you did see Saint getting a little bit aggressive in mid there with the default class, able to get a pick off in middle towards the tank, and it just started snowballing in favor of the Bang at that point, as we are going to be preparing for the fifth round. So far, no rounds for Penguins. They're down 4-0. As you noted, cards are starting to run a little bit dry over there, but Lynch does still have the scope. Looks like he is going to be taking it over towards middle. But again, those set nades come, and this time they've landed their mark perfectly. Even a frag comes out. So not only do they slow down Penguins and get J Money into Cinema again, but they also get a pick out of it with the grenade. Luckily, Sandro's found one kill, but J Money again with that SMG up close on Cinema, keeping the advantage for his team.
It just doesn't seem like Lynch is getting anything done with the sniper rifle thus far. I wonder if maybe there could be a call to come in to Penguins to just go for a faster composition of weaponry and just try and charge the site. It's a slow, steady approach. As you've seen time and time again, they're landing tac nades onto the heads of the allies. They're going to lose Destiny on top of it. And now it's that man Lynch alongside Sandro with it all to do. They have no control over Cinema either. So it's not just the fact that they have a one-pronged push, but they also have to be very wary of potential at double Cinema push, maybe one top Cinema, one lower Cinema. They can see a player on broken wall, but it's not going to land for Lynch, although money has gone down, and Lynch can still see a player bobbing up and down there. So they are going to be able to push into position, but this is where the lack of Cinema control could very well hurt the allies.
Yeah, Fancy catching one there on the back halls, leaving Lynch alone all of a sudden as he is trying to work his way into the site here, but there's 3 defenders left. He pushes through towards the double doors, but gets caught out by Ticket. It's going to be Saint And again, J Money's just having such impact on that aggression in Cinema. It was good. They actually did catch him trying to fall back out into the site, but it just didn't matter. Fancy was able to hold the back hallways. And they just maintain a man advantage all the way through. And so now it is going to be 5-0 in favor of the Bang here as we go into round number 6. See what Penguins wants to do. We do see the bar coming out onto Sandro. So going for that heavy class. Do have a few smokes and HE out as well. A-Rock's going to take his scope out in middle. He's going to see that no one has crossed over towards Cinema. This is going to give him a lot of intel to get Saint and Fancy rotating back over to the church site. And it also gives a little bit more freedom for the B players, maybe get a little bit aggressive. As A-Rox keeps holding middle, you have to cross mid to get towards Cinema. And if no one's doing that, the information is all there for the Bang.
Definitely. And they didn't even smoke mid either. So it gets to a point where they know that the potential of a church push is very much on the cards. That being said, though, with mid control and connector control, Penguin can back away back to Cinema and hope that the over-rotation has come in for the Bang. So they can't completely count all their chickens before they've hatched. But Aerox is laid in wait and will punish. But in retaliation, the Allies now will be forcing their way through onto the long side, trying to get in towards Graveyard. They got 2 players strong. Other 2 players are way back, maybe watching for the flank. And to be fair, the Bang have gone for flanks time and time again.
Absolutely. They're holding up at long A, but Fancy's playing the Graveyard, and Saint's actually inside the site, and time is getting low. Penguins are going to have to commit here soon. It looks like they are going to push through long. They're going to try to wrap around Graveyard. Fancy will be there to greet them. Saint as well inside the site. Can they break through? It's going to come down to the duels. They even have A-Rox covering the doorway, the wraparound with the scope.
They have spotted a player behind them on the tank, but 20 seconds now to play with. They're starting to take control of Church, or are they? Players being lost. Saint 6 comes up with another one. 10 seconds now. Where's the push coming in? Where's the cohesion? They're nowhere near each other. Sandro's watching second mid with 5 seconds. He needs to get in on the site and help a brother out here. There's no time left. The Allies have timed themselves out once again.
Indeed, they just got held up. I mean, there were players sitting inside Graveyard. You could see Penguins were looking to wrap and try to attack into that, but then Fancy fell back into the site, and they were able to just kind of hold off. Particularly, one of the players for the Bang was actually inside the altar room, and I think it was just enough slowing them down. You still had, members from the Bang also sitting towards books inside the spawn, just kind of keeping an eye on the bomb site. So it just really comes down to the Bang out trading, and Penguins is just, getting held up way too much. We haven't really seen a lot of speed out of them. We do see them again going for something over towards the A bomb side. I think this is going to be faster pace as well. If you look at the map, you see them pretty much all full sprinting towards alt mid and the A halls. Only Fancy really in the area right now to defend against this, and he does go out immediately thanks to Nyx with the Thompson, and so the A bomb side is open for business. But A-Rox and Saint beginning to rotate with J Money to try to see if they can't hold this up.
Yeah, considering that Aerox is currently 8-0 and he has the scoped car, he's not going to be an easy adversary to sweep aside. He does spot the shoulder peeking around the corner, not able to get the flick. But information has been gathered. Tags and frags, Nyx and Destiny's also gone down. So sure, the Allies have got onto the site, but they've not been able to get the bomb planted just yet. They're going to go back in for seconds as Aerox looks to push, but he's going to fall down to the hands of Sandro, who's going to go in for seconds. And he's doing a hell of a job here. But the problem is that Saint knows exactly where the bomb is. He has the positional advantage. And the MP40 up against the carbine close range, the SMG should reign supreme. This is going to be a very hard one for Sandro to clutch.
Yeah, he does have the time, but like you said, the bomb is down. He has to collect it. He has to get the plant to buy that extra time, or he needs to hunt for this frag. Saint, moving around the wraparound, could actually maybe flank behind him. It looks like he is just posted up, though. He's waiting for Sandro to make a move. He knows Sandro has to get this bomb down in the next 20 seconds, so he's just playing his cards right, being patient, as the bomb will be collected by Sandro just now. Picks up a card, tries to run out. Saint's right there. He's just waiting for it. He can just feel he's licking his chops, and now he hunts him down once the plant is committed to. Another round goes on the board here for the men at the Bang. They're now up 7-0.
Yeah.
Very dominant stuff.
I almost feel like Sandro was trying to run away there to bait that he was going for the other bomb site. The problem is you had 10 seconds left. So Saint's not buying that. He's like, yeah, you have to go for the plant, mate. I'm just going to sit here and wait for you. You can see, again, the cards are really starting to dwindle. The thing is, though, when you go for the default class, it gives you a nade and it gives you a smoke as well. You don't have to dip into those 12 nades and smokes to start off with. So it does give you extra utility, but it, of course, are weaker weapons against the likes of the sniper rifles. And as you can see now, an STG has been picked up by Fancy, who gets dropped down to 13 health, but he's okay. He can just wait there. allow himself to regen. However, Aerox will not be regenning anytime soon. He's gone down. Here comes Fancy for a quick fire double, and he's able to scamper off and come back in for seconds. That will cost his life.
Yeah, Penguins now down to just 2 members right now. They are starting to settle in over towards A, but Saints already rotated through Graveyard into the church area. J Money is in mid, making sure they can't fall back towards B. This gives Seuss a little bit more freedom to kind of help Saint out over towards the church bomb site. And now it looks like Saint's actually going to even start kind of proning around the pillar here with the Gaware, and he's able to get the frag, picks up the card, and he's going to go up against the last player of Penguins here. He's going to jump up with the STG, tag him down, and that's yet another round for the Bang. Up now 8-0. Again, it is a race to 13, 12 rounds per half, and they may come out of this one flawless if this holds up.
I mean, you just look at the discrepancy in the cards between the two teams. There's no rifles left. There's no SMGs left. Only one of the other classes. Whereas on the Bang, they've got 4 for the heavies, 4 for the riflemen. They're good to go. 8 rounds through. Of course, 12 rounds per half. First to 13 will take it. And right now, it's hard to bet against the Bang. They are looking head and shoulders above Penguin. And to make matters worse, Rhino gets tagged severely at the start. He's able to recover.
But again, that is the big thing about this game, is that health regen that may catch some people off. Maybe not used to that from other bomb defusal type game types. So we do see Penguins looking to storm the front over here at Cinema, though. Shotgun coming in from Rhino, and he's found one. Penguins may just have done something here. They're getting a lot of frags on the site, and they're getting that bomb down.
However, Fancy and Aerox is still standing, and they have been 2 Juggernauts, 2 Behemoths to deal with. Oh, Fancy, just too many players for him to handle. Running at him, but you can see the blink of an eye. It's gone down to a 1v1. Aerox has some smoke, going to toss that towards the broken house and draw out into the open, and will get the clutch. It was a 4v2, and the Bang come out ahead. And Penguin will be kicking themselves. You can see there again, wants to make sure he collects the cards before getting the defuse. Plenty of time left to get it done. And 9-0 will be the score.
Absolutely well done there on the retake from Aerox and Fancy, combined together for, I think, 3 kills in the end. They were in a 2-on-3 and were able to get the job done. Again, if you're Penguins, it must stink to get so close. You can almost taste the win, but you just can't quite finish it off. They changed the pace. They did a really fast attack over there towards the Cinema Bomb site. First time we've really seen that from them, and they made some ground. They had some good early trades, but just unable to finish. So it's 9-0 now for the Bang. And we'll see what Penguins is going to do in response, as we do have a bit of a pause going on right now.
Yeah, apparently a player crashed, so they're going to be coming back soon on the side of the Bang. And there is Fancy. He has rejoined, so we should be golden to jump back live very shortly. 9-0. Again, you can see 0 shotguns remaining, 0 rifles, only the 1 SMG, which has now been taken. 2 sniper rifles, and I can kind of understand why Penguins have gone away from the sniper rifles. Lynch was typically taking them, and it just wasn't working. You now see him switch to the Garand instead, the rifle.
And that's the other thing, man. Like, the fact that the Bang has consistently landed that set nade at middle, which, again, it has the double benefit of maybe getting you a kill, but also slowing down anyone who pushes Cinema. And now, because they've instilled that fear in Penguins that, hey, we know this set nade and we can throw it and we can hit you with it, we can slow you down, we can kill you. They don't even have to throw it every round now. Penguins still have to be wary of it, though. They have to know that it's an option, and so you're taking a gamble if you decide just to rush towards Cinema and hope that that nade isn't there. And that's what they did in that round, and it worked out for them in the entries, but again, just could not find the finishing touches they wanted to secure it, as now they are, again, waiting for those set nades. We do see, because of it, they're slowed. Fancy getting aggressive. J Money pushing Cinema again. So look at the advantages the Bang are gaining off those set nades. Such advanced positioning right now over towards Cinema.
Yeah, whereas on the other side of the coin, the Allies are struggling to even get out of Broken House. They've already taken 1 casualty and make that a second. Sure, Fancy's gone down, but they'll take the 2-for-1 trade and make it a 3-for-1. Sandro and Nyx, they do what they can, and in the back of their minds, they're very cognizant of the fact that time and time again, the Bang have pushed up mid. And this time it's going to be no different. It's Aerox round the corner. He's going to pick up both the kills, only losing 35 of his own health. And at this point, you're actually seeing the Bang take a lot of Gevaers into it, the default rifle, because, I mean, to be honest, they don't need to take any of the heavy-hitting weapons. If things start to get a bit sour, they can dip into that later on. They still
it
have
also gives them that utility
shotguns
as well. That free utility with the default class. I mean, they've thrown that last one, they threw multiple set nades at middle. And look at the advantages. Again, J Money gets in the cinema with an SMG and it absolutely shuts down the attack. So I feel like I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but that's consistently been the problem for Penguins. Anytime they've gone over towards this side of the map, they've looked to do the same exact thing here, but 3 players already on site and Saint not too far away. Seuss has a great position with this scope as well from the top cinema area at the fire escape, being able to look down as well as keep an eye on these A hallways. Misses his shot, but gets the information that Rhino is there. As everyone really from Penguins is in cinema, and Seuss has drawn first blood.
Nearly shoots his teammate, thinks better of it, and you can see 4 players around the cinema because of the fact they've got a flank going in, so they've got the information that they can afford to just stand and wait. And there we go. Yet another crisp, easy round for the Bang, who find themselves 11-0 up.
Again, only 1 round left in this half before we switch sides, and it looks like we could see the Bang taking this one in flawless fashion.
Oh, apparently Ruben's game's crashed, so I guess
Radio
we'll just
cast
keep
for this
casting.
round. Yep. Radio
Yes.
cast it up.
Oh, there you go. Again, you called it. There's 3 nades in mid. Just a bombardment of ordnance, but it's not going to claim any lives. It will stall the attack once more, and now Saint is going to look to push. Destiny's nowhere near. Rhino, he's a dead man. Too easy. Just far too easy.
Did you make it back, Ruben? Ruben is on his way back, so hopefully we'll be able to get him in to show you this last round. We did take a pause in the server as well to get Ruben back in, so you won't be missing this last round as long as Ruben's computer doesn't catch on fire.
This last round, are you assuming they'll lose it, thus? You got no faith in Penguins?
Mate.
This guy.
Did we watch the same game?
Toxic caster confirmed.
That's a great one. Nah, I mean, you never know. Maybe they're a defending team, Vince.
Again,
you never know.
It's hard to say, right? The game's been out for all of 2 days. It's hard to say if maps are super like one-sided or the other, defense or attack. What I will say though, when you look at the difference in tactics, you look at the difference in skill and aim. Yeah, the Bang have been head and shoulders, and that's reflected in the 12-0 score.
There was only one really close round that entire half. I feel like there was that one round Penguins, I think, traded like 3-for-1 or 3-for-2 inside the cinema site and got the bomb planted and had a man advantage in the post plant.
Yeah,
and then they wound up losing it to Arox and Fancy, and that was really the only close round and a half. Like every other one was very one-sided in favor of the Bang. So we'll see if they can change it up as we're just waiting on Ruben to get back in. He's had a bit of a restart. All Gucci.
Just going to look at the weaponry then for the 2 teams, as obviously we can see. It's going to be a couple of Garants for the Bang, a couple of carbines at the Thompsons. They're not bothering with any of the sniping shenanigans, whereas Lynch has gone for a car, the scoped car, I should say, and Rhino's gone for a normal car, a couple of MP40s, and Destiny has got an STG. So interesting to see the different approaches to the Allied side, because Lynch was going for a sniper for the first 6 or 7 rounds every single time up until he realized, yeah, this isn't going to happen. Whereas instantly the Bang are like, yep, let's go for a much more versatile, aggressive composition of weaponry.
Yeah, it's one of those things where on this map in particular, because you can set nade the attacking spawn pretty easily from defense, from just inside your spawn, you can run like along the wall outside the church and then just, put your nade down. It makes it hard to snipe as the attacking team at middle. You have to kind of dance around whether or not they're going to set nade or not. You can obviously smoke off the sniper. Like there's a smoke you can throw from attacking spawn that'll smoke off the sniper by mid tank, and it allows you to cross without being spotted over to the broken building, which I don't think I saw that too much. But again, we are now finally live in what could be the last round of this game. We will see what the Bang has in store for the attack. There's a smoke down. That's the smoke we were talking about. Blocks Lynch's scope Car 98 from getting any type of intel on middle, as we do see a huge attack mounting over on the cinema site.
They're already in close proximity with the carbines, Aerox with Fancy. just going to wipe off Sandro off the table. Bomb going to get planted in amongst the smoke. Lynch, Destiny, and Nyx going to try and do what they can, and they are getting the kills. Nyx with a double. Destiny with an STG frag, and now Aerox and Sus. What can they do? What have they got in the back pocket? Garand unable to be reloaded. Sus is going to have to be very careful he doesn't put himself in a bad position here. Only 4 bullets left in the magazine.
But yeah, you have to just shoot those bullets down the reload if you want with this particular gun. Bomb tap there by Aerox, just looking to draw someone out. He's kind of watching Broken Building, looking to see if there's a mid flank involved, but we can see that both Penguins members are actually over here at spawn, just waiting for that plant to be committed to. One ticket, one over towards the spawn. Aerox will look to push into ticket. He finds the kill. It gets in the 2-on-1 they want. I think Seuss has spotted the player in the back, calls, lays down the M1, and wins the game for his team. 13-0, a perfect victory to kick off the tournament for them, Vince.
Yeah, just again, it seemed like the Bang had everything going in their favor. When it came to the individual duels, it was too easy for them. Came to the nades too easy. They even had set smokes as well. They look a well-oiled machine. And Penguins, of course, they can take the experience of where they went wrong, which was, you know, it was a rough game. Let's be honest, us. The 13-0, I think that's an accurate depiction of how things went. The Bang.
I think it was just a sense of they didn't really have a response for the aggression of J Money at Cinema. Was one of the biggest things. The set nades at mid really killed their timings on the Cinema side, the bulk of the half. So I think that's something they have to think about. What do we do? You know, if we're getting slowed down and we can't get to Cinema, and we know that they're pushing into Cinema with people, how do we counter that? Do we divert entirely and really focus more on the other side of the map? Which is the adjustment they did make, by the way. I mean, you did see them trying to go more towards Church towards the end of the half, but again, still not really able to break through. Aerox was just playing really good, kind of holding middle and kind of rotating around, and they always had the information. So I think it was just a situation where across the board they just need to kind of tinker with some things.
Yeah, I mean, it's super, super early days. Probably came into this game not necessarily knowing all the set nades or anything like that. Lynch did struggle as well to match Aerox, who had a blinder of a game, to be fair to him. I think he ended up with like 16-2 or something like that. He was very, very good. And I'll be curious to see how far the Bang can go. If they can trade with the likes of computer players, of course, a lot of X-Fnatic, X-H2K, TCM players, or indeed Article 51, who are another of the big teams. That's the likes of Lighters are in there, Ono as well. So be curious to see if these teams meet each other later on.
Indeed, as the next round is going to be played on Manor House V2, so I got the order wrong. So the next map, I think, is going to be Manor House V2. We'll have another best of one on the stream for that map. Then the next round, I think, will be Liberation. We'll have a best of one on that map as well. And then we'll get Umo moving towards our finals, which is going to be a best of 3 a little bit later on. And as you noted, there's definitely a lot of veteran players sitting out there in the bracket. And we could be seeing at least a couple of those veterans teams going up against each other in the grand finals, and we could have quite the clash. But we're going to take a short break while we figure out what server we're moving into next and who will be commentating next. And so hopefully we'll be back with you very shortly to bring you some more action here from the Blitzkrieg battle from the Plays, the first Battalion 1944 tournament to be streamed. I am Dust. With me is Vince. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Hope you'll stick around. We have some more games coming up for you real soon.